We've all been there. Commander games going on an hour and a half longer than they should have, people going on their phones mid-game because it all just feels like it's dragging, playing your first game of the night and it's already midnight and you're getting eepy. This is what I like to call Commander fatigue, and this unfortunately is an eventuality that you cannot avoid the longer you play this format. However, there are some steps to take and certain cards to run that will speed your games up, introduce urgency, and force you to interact, and maybe bond/make enemies with your fellow tablemates. In today's video, I'll be breaking down 5 cards that I think can help reduce commander fatigue and increase variability, and most of all, encourage fun to be had. This video is brought to you by the EDH Jank Center, your source for everything commander and everything jank, and I'm your host Jordan. Now let's dive in. So our first card up today is Descent into Avernus. 2 red enchantment from Commander Legends Battle for Baldur's Gate. It says, at the beginning of your upkeep, put 2 descent counters on Descent into Avernus. Then each player creates X treasure tokens, and Descent into Avernus deals X damage to each player, where X is the number of descent counters on Descent into Avernus. So this card has become a gigantic meme in our Discord, which is free to join, by the way, link in the description, and for good reason. That effect is absolutely bonkers. In 2 turn cycles, each player is being dealt 4 damage and then making 4 treasures. Even if you're new to the game, you know that having that much extra mana given to you for free every turn cycle is an amazing thing. This allows for more spells to be cast per turn, more game plans to be moved forward, and more havoc to be wrought. And not only are we getting more and more free mana every single turn, but our life totals are going down very fast. This will make games super quick and will put a ticking clock on every player's turn. This will create excitement and hopefully not commander fatigue straight on its big old butt. Honestly, I think creating a variant of commander with Descent into Avernus as a sort of emblem or global enchantment that doesn't go away could be a really fun way to play the game. Let me know in the comments if you'd be down to play something like that. And while you do that, we're gonna move on to Disrupt Decorum. 2 red sorcery. This one's from Murders at Karlov Manor Precons. It says, goad all creatures you don't control, and if you don't know what goading is, it means until your next turn, those creatures attack each combat if able and attack a player other than you if able. There are certain decks in Magic the Gathering that need to essentially play solitaire for them to win the game. These can lead to really long turns or just dirtling around until they have assembled their combo, not really affecting the rest of the board too much. However, Forced Combat is here to fix all of that drudgery. Casting something like Disrupt Decorum does just that. Disrupts the staleness of a game and forces these dirtling opponents of ours to look up from their phones, think outside the box, and engage with other players. I promise it's not personal for me. This level of problem solving might stir some ire, but will definitely keep things active as well as directly benefit you since you're the one goading all of your opponents. I cannot stress enough how much I loved Forced Combat for speeding up games and making every game of Commander different. Alright, moving on to Havoc Festival. 4 black-red enchantment from Return to Ravnica. It says, players can't gain life, and at the beginning of each player's upkeep, that player loses half their life rounded up. This card is in my Cardur Doomscourge deck for a similar reason to Descent into Avernus. It introduces a ticking time bomb to the game that is very hard to ignore. Having your life total every turn is very scary and makes every single move you make important. Casting Read the Bones becomes much more risky when you know that losing just 2 life could spell the difference between winning and losing the game. Adding a sense of urgency and danger to every play and every turn is a surefire way to smack your opponents out of their stupor and force them to pay attention. And this is a great excuse to use this card because I rarely see it played anywhere. Alright, let's move on over to Elrond of the White Council. 3 green-blue legendary creature elf noble. It says, Secret Council. When Elrond of the White Council enters, each player secretly votes for fellowship or aid, then those votes are revealed. For each fellowship vote, the voter chooses a creature they control. You gain control of each creature chosen this way, and they gain this creature can't attack its owner. Then, for each aid vote, put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control, and it's a 3/3. So now we've moved on to something a little more relaxed than Forced Combat and decimating everyone's life totals. Now we're talking about politics, baby. Elrond here is just a placeholder for really any cards that bring all the players together to make a vote. MTG is a social game, meant to be played and enjoyed with others. The voting mechanic encourages interaction and actual words spoken between players. Thusly, Debates can be had, grudges that don't last beyond the game, mind you, can be created, and alliances can be made. You can even all pretend you're a real political council as long as you're having fun and engaging with others. That's what matters. And now we're moving on to our last card and concept of the day. It's Howling Mine, 2 colorless mana artifact. This one's from Commander 2016. It says, at the beginning of each player's draw step, if Howling Mine is untapped, that player draws an additional card. We all like getting gifts, right? I don't think I've ever met anyone in my life that didn't enjoy a cheeky present every once in a while, even if they do the whole fake humility, I don't deserve anything bit. Deep down, they love presents. And Group Hug as a strategy in MTG does just that. You get to be the Santa Claus of your pod by giving your friends card draw, extra lands, extra land drops, creatures, and the list goes on. Extra card draw especially helps accelerate the game, since people will be able to set up faster with all the extra value. Nothing will get someone off their phone like, hey Bartholomew, you get to draw 3 cards at your draw step this turn. Watching their face light up like a child will be quite rewarding, I think. And then it's up to you how you'd like to take it from there. You can build Group Hug that eventually turns on everyone and crushes their dreams. Or you can stick to the brand and just be there for the vibes. Both perfectly valid and both great ways to spice up your game nights. Well, kiddos, that brings us to the end here, and I hope this video sparked some ideas on how you can liven up your Commander nights. Remember to always be respectful and kind, and let me know in the comments what cards I should cover next. Are there any favorites of yours that I missed? I'm always down there in the comments with you guys, so come on down and have a chat with me. And hey, listen, if you'd like to get extra entries in our monthly Discord giveaways, win prizes in our monthly deck building contests, and play spell table games with me and my co-host Cress every month, check out our Patreon in the description below. We've got lots of awesome ways to support. And if you want to snag a Pyramid Designs playmat through our affiliate link, check that out in the description below. If you use our link, you get 30% off your purchase. And for those who may not have the funds but still want to be part of the community, you can always hop in our Discord completely for free and join our wonderful community of jank lovers. Another free way to support us is by liking and subscribing to the channel, following us on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter at EDH Jank Center, and that's about it. Alright guys, I'm out, and I'll see you on the next video.